نستعين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين حبيب قلوبنا وطبيب نفوسنا رحمة للعالمين أبي القاسم محمد
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد
والصلاة والسلام على أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين المظلومين ولعنة الله على أعدائهم أجمعين. اللهم كن لوليك الحجة ابن الحسن صلواتك عليه وعلى آبائه في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا ودليلا وعينا حتى تسكنه أرضك ضوعا وتمتعه فيها طويلا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم صل على محمد. Amma ba'd, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. All praise and glory belongs to Allah, the creator of this universe, the one who created everything without wanting anything in return, whose mercy does not know any bounds and whose forgiveness does not know any bounds. With a being that is more loving to us than our own mothers, that He loves us 70 times more that a mother can love. A being that is so powerful that He created 280 billion galaxies with trillions of planets and stars by just saying be, and they became. A being that has the knowledge of all that is going to exist or has existed or will exist. A being that has the knowledge of how things are connected with each other. The connection of each other determines the system that He has created, and that is knowledge which is not possible for any creation to be able to get. Just a simple example of that is, for today's event to happen, how many things had to happen before? Right? For me to speak in front of you, how many things had to happen before? When you start calculating the number of things that had to happen before, that were connected with the things that had to happen before that, you come to a conclusion that that knowledge can only exist with the Creator. Creation is not, it's not possible for them to have that knowledge. So all the mercy that He has and all the power and all the knowledge, He asked us that could you be my guest in this month of Ramadhan. Right? A being with all might, right? A being with all knowledge, a being that is sublime, a being that is the creator of everyone, a being that does not need anything in return, a being that is the most beautiful, the most loved one, the most knowledgeable in all of its entirety. A being like this asking us, and what are we? Wretched, low, weak, sinners, people of no control over self, having lowly desires as our nucleus of the thought that goes through our minds and hearts. A being that with a bite of a mosquito dies. If a mosquito bites, that this being dies. What are we? What do we think of ourselves to be? In reality, us as a creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala compared to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, there is no comparison. Whatever I can say about my own self or about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it is what He has given to me. And a being so high asks us so low to be their guests. Is that not honor? If it is not honor and you cannot understand that being as honor, either you do not understand yourself, who you are, or you do not understand what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is. If you do not feel honored right now to be a guest of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, there's only two issues. Either you do not know how low you are, or you do not know how great Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is. But if you understand that it is a place of honor, that a person should cherish every single moment, every single hour, every single day, every single night of this month, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made him as a guest. Right? So today, being the first day of my Ramadan, and we had the honor of being the guest of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I need to ask myself, as today is winding up, and before you know it, I will no longer be the guest of Allah. Right? I am the guest of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala till what time?
Till the last moment, last breath.
I am a guest of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the month of my Ramadan as long as I have my fast. So the being a guest of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ends in about 20-30 minutes or so. You have to become a slave of Allah. Right? You have to become a slave of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You have to become a person who is in submission to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You have to become a Muslim. You have to become a believer. You have to put in your effort to be able to achieve those levels of convictions where you are a believer. You have to become a Shia, as we have mentioned before into the different dars that we had. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, I make you my guest. You are going to be my guest. But I am a guest of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala till the time that I am fasting. After that, am I His guest? Is everybody His guest? If that guestship, we consider it to be that general, then everybody fits in. Then where is the honor of you and I? What is the honor of you and I then? I'm a guest of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from the time that I start my fast till the time that I finish my fast. And in that time period that I'm His guest, I need to ask myself, what did I get? I was the guest of Allah, and now I'm no longer His guest. What did I get from being with Him? Right? Simple, eh? It's difficult nahi hai. If somebody said that, you, the honorable Muslim, for example, I'm just saying a name out of the top of my head. Listen, you, Mr. Honorable Ali, okay? So you are invited as a guest, as an honorable guest to say the White House. And for most of us, unfortunately, that happens to be a high place. So you're invited and to be a guest at the White House. So you go there, you're going to tell people, okay, I'm going to the White House, I'm going to the White House, I've been invited by the President. You go there. After you are done your, you return, people are going to ask you, how was it? You were in the White House, you were in the presence of the President, and you got, you were a guest of theirs. How was it? Right? What did you get? Today I was a guest of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. From the time that I started my fast till the time is going to end. Should I not ask myself, what did I get? Did I only get hunger, pains? Did I only get thirst? Like some of us were sleeping most of the day, so We didn't even get that. Right? I don't think I didn't even get that. I'm not thirsty. Did I get any hunger pains? No. Probably most of us, they eat about once or twice a day anyways. Hunger pains, no. So even the lowest form of fast, where Imam Ali says that the awamun nas, the people who are general public, all they get from fast is hunger pains and being thirsty. I didn't even get that. Because I was sleeping most of the time, or my schedule for eating is like, twice a day. And water, let's say, I don't really drink that much water in a day. Okay? In Canada, in America, you don't really drink water. I mean, you don't get thirsty. You're not outside. You're always in air conditioned. Maybe 1 glass, 2 glasses maximum. Right? You don't sweat. Your glands are closed. It doesn't happen. So why are you going to be thirsty? If you were out in the heat and you were walking or working, yes, you would feel the hunger pains. You would feel sweat, you will feel the thirst, you will sweat, you will feel that. I didn't even get that. So what did I get? That I was a guest of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the whole day. What did I get? So as the time of iftar gets closer, a person should be asking themselves, what did you get? Is it that you are not a guest of Allah? No, you are. Is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, ma'azallah, miserly? That He does not like to give, that He is not generous? My host is the most generous being, and all generosity belongs to Him. And I go to Him and I be His guest for all day, and do I not get anything? Should I not have anything? Right? So the reason I'm asking all of these questions, because today is the first of my Ramadan, today is the first day that we were guests. We need to realize that at the end of our fast we should have something. But we would not know what that thing is if somebody does not tell us what we're supposed to get from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We need to know. We need to know what is it that I am supposed to get from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as a guest of His. Because you're not eating, you're not drinking, there is no such thing as a guest would get from their host. Right? So, in order for us to get to that particular point, and this what I have mentioned to you, we're going to go a little bit in detail about the connection that we have as body and soul, and then hopefully by that time it'll be Maghrib, and then afterwards the next day we'll continue on the same subject, and we'll try to figure out from my Ramadan what are we supposed to get, so that if we don't have it right now, probably by another 28 days or 27 days we should be able to have it. Right? Sounds good? Otherwise we can not talk about that, and we can just talk about a dua of Imam Sajjad alayhi salatu wasalam, which is number 44. If you were to go and look into Sayfa Sajjadiyya, we can talk about that dua which Imam used to recite when my Ramadan used to come. There's a lot of things that deals with my Ramadan. We can also take the topic of sabr and look at approximately 35 plus verses of the Quran that deal with that topic. There are many things that we can talk about, right? As we have done it before. The one day and then another 14 days would pass by. Right? If we do not know what you were supposed to get from the month of my Ramadan, we are just going to be empty pocket, empty hands, and the same way as we were before. Right? So we can talk about all of that, but what I need from you is that before you open your fast, you should have something. You have yourself ask yourself this question: what did I get from my fast? Okay? Before you eat. After you've eaten, you're not going to be asking this question. Before you eat, ask yourself the question: what did I get? What you see in front of you is a carbon-based body. It's a machinery that has parts, and this machinery requires fuel. In order for fuel, you get the fuel, the machinery works, there's energy that happens, and the machinery continues. And it's no different principle than what you have outside as a car. Okay? That's all it is. Just exactly like you have your car outside, you need to put gas in it in order for the machinery to run. That's all it is. This, what you see in front of you, it's a carbon-based body. It's a machine. It has parts. It has a pump. You know, like the car has a water pump, right? Yes or no? The car has a water pump. It has all of that stuff that, you guys are probably know more about cars than I do, but the workings of the inside of the car is not my topic, but exactly how the car is, that's basically what you are right now. Okay? So similarities, there are many. Alright? So this body of ours is nothing more than a carbon-based machine. And this carbon-based machine is told to us that from the azan of Maghrib, from the azan of Fajr, right, till the azan of Maghrib, you're not supposed to put any gas in it. Okay? With me so far? Right? Like how you have your car, then when it goes on to E, you go and put fuel in it. Right? If somebody was to tell you that from 3:58 till 8:49 or 8:50, you're not supposed to put any gas into your car. You run it, but don't put any gas into it. See? So okay. Is that what fasting is? Can we define it just that? As understanding that we are basically carbon-based body, a machinery that requires fuel for it to run, and I've been told that don't put any fuel in it from 3:40, whichever namaz was, 3:58 till 8:48 or 8:49. Don't put any food into it. Don't take any sugar, carbohydrates. Do not take any liquids. Don't take any protein. Do not put anything inside of this machine. That is a fast. So basically that's what I am. In front of you is a carbon-based machinery that has a pump, pumps the blood into the circulation. It all goes everywhere, and there is lungs that are there that, have you guys seen lungs work? Right? Yeah. So if you could not see the skin and so forth, all you would see is just parts that are moving, just like any other machine. Right? That's what you would see. Okay. So as I understand that with the car, there has to be a driver. If there's no driver for the car, then the car cannot go anywhere. Right? So if I'm a carbon-based body and I'm a machine and I need fuel, there must be some driver. So now, is the fast for the machine? Is the fast for the machine? Well, you are filling your gas tank at 3:58 before that, no?
Yes.
Some of us filled it, mashallah, It hit, it's full, but kept putting it in because you're worried that you're not going to eat anything all day. So it's like, okay, the tank is full. Bhai, kha liya, pet bhar gaya, it's done. No, I'm going to eat more.
In case.
In case. I mean, you don't have any more capacity. Your fuel tank is full. The fuel is now spilling out. Don't eat anymore. No, because I'm not going to eat anything during the day. I need to put more fuel. And then what's going to happen at Maghrib time? What's going to happen after when we have iftari? People are going to again fill their tank, and they're going to fill it again the same way. Again the same way, like it's like your tank is full, you cannot put anything more in, the fuel is leaking. No, I'm going to continue eating because I'm not going to eat tomorrow. So what happens if fasting is just that putting fuel in or don't put fuel in? You are putting fuel in 2 times a day. Right? And not just that, some people all night are eating. I mean, once the tank is full in a machine, in a car, what happens? You can't put no more fuel in there. The more fuel you put in is just a waste. And in the month of Ramadan, all night some people are eating, putting fuel in their fuel tank. Right? And what happens is, at the end of the month, even the body that is supposed to be cleansed, supposed to be purified, is supposed to become healthy, becomes dirty, becomes unhealthy, and even the person becomes, they gain more weight. To be more polite, they get fat. Which is kind of ironic. You say to the person, I fasted for 30 days. MashaAllah, Alhamdulillah. Can you also tell me what that fasting is? Because you gained 30 pounds. You tell somebody that you fasted for 30 days and you end up gaining weight. Will they be like, was it really fasting or were you feasting? Were you fasting or were you feasting? Because if you were fasting, you should not have gained 30 pounds. But if you were feasting, then yes, I understand. So we don't fast, we feast. In the name of fast. We consider ourselves to be the guests of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala while we do not understand what we are supposed to get from Allah. We're supposed to consider this month as holy, as every single hour of it, every day of it, every night of it holy. We do not understand what holiness is. We understand that we're not supposed to eat or drink, but we do eat or drink, and we eat and drink more than we do in the regular days. And yet we consider ourselves that I have done my task. So I am a biological machine. This body of mine is a biological machine. It requires fuel. If you were to open it, there are parts, there are moving parts, and they are connected with each other, and this machine runs. So once I understand that I am a machine, I need a driver to run this machine. What is that driver? That is your soul. The soul that you have is not carbon-based. The soul that you have does not have moving parts. The soul that you have does not require fuel or energy as you require carbohydrates, protein, sugars, and so forth. The soul that you have is alive. The soul that you have is an entity. The soul that you have is the same soul that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has. Right? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, I put my soul into him. So the soul that you have actually belongs to Allah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given it its nisbat, that it is from me. That soul has been honored by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, saying that this is mine. Your soul is something that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala takes, that this is mine, to give honor of it, says it is mine. And what capacity do you have with that soul? The capacity you have that once my slave becomes so close to me that I give him whatever I have and he becomes like me. That if he was to say kun, if he was to say be, it becomes. Can you imagine that? An entity that can become, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saying that my slave can become like me, misli. That in their character they have mercy like me. In their character they have forgiveness like mine. In their character they have love like mine. In their character they have the knowledge like mine. Can you believe that? Can you wrap your mind around that concept? That you, on one side, being a carbon-based machine, on the other side, that carbon-based machine is being run by an entity called soul, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has honored it so much and given so much potential to it. What conclusion do you get? If such an entity is the driver and such an entity is a carbon-based machine, there must be a purpose. No? There must be a purpose, there must be an A to B, there must be that we have to get somewhere, there must be, we need to utilize it in a way and fashion and manner that some result should come out. Otherwise, what is the point of a machine and a driver? True? Yes. If you have a car and you have the driver, and you ask the driver, where are you going? He says, I don't know. Or you have a car, like some people, like I'll give you a little bit more, since we're getting closer to Maghrib. If somebody has a Ferrari, is for you guys, Ferrari doesn't interest you? Like a Lamborghini, is that better? If somebody has a Lamborghini or somebody has a Ferrari or whatever, Rolls Royce or Porsche or whatever, Audi or Lotus or whatever you consider it to be, a very fine machine, whereas a person has spent, let's say, I don't know, $250,000 to buy it. And then you have the person who is the best car racing person in the world. Okay? So you have that machine and you have that driver. Then you say, okay, so what's up? What are you doing? Nothing. Yeah, you have a Lamborghini. Use it. Nah, it's okay. Use it for what this car is made for. You have the skills. You're a good driver. You can beat anyone. You have the potential to beat anyone. You have the potential to become the best. Use that and go race and beat everybody. Go get to your destination. Then no, I'm okay. Your body is more complex than any Ferrari that a man can create. For you to look at me, there are trillions of cells that need to work in harmony for you to be able to see me. All of the technology combined, people were able to produce 1 second, I might have told you this, 1 second of the brain activity of a human being. 1 second. Where all the computers that they have, with all the technology, with all the terabytes and everything, processing power that they have, they were able to reproduce 1 second of the brain activity in 2 hours. And they were so happy. They were over the moon that they reproduced 1 second of the brain activity of a human being with all of the technology that they had in hand in 2 hours. And they said the regular PC that people have in their homes, it would take them 24 hours to reproduce 1 second of the brain activity of a human being. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you that body, that machine. And if we were to go more in detail about the miracles that you have inside of you, we could spend 15 days just talking about that. Do you know, in your eyes, just maybe 2 more minutes. In your eyes, there is, in front of your retina, there is, as you look, just very simple examples I'm giving you. In your eyes, in front of your eyes, there is garbage that accumulates, and then there are sounds that are responsible to remove that garbage, and so that you are able to continually see. If those sounds stop moving and they do not pick up the garbage, a person goes blind. And for that disease, there is no cure. If a person gets that disease, there is no cure. Eventually, they are going to get blind. Can you imagine if our eyes, those cells, decided they're not going to pick up the garbage today? What worth do we have of ourselves? What worth do we have of the blessings Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has bestowed? What more are we looking for? What is it that we need? What is our responsibility to such a mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Inshallah, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blesses us, we will go through some of these things, and this whole month that we have, we'll try to figure out who we are. We'll try to figure out why in this particular month there's so much honor and holiness is there. Just to give you a short answer before you go, it's because of Quran. You know why you're told to fast? It's because of this Quran, in the honor of this Quran. Because it was revealed in this month, and because of its honor, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made you as His guests. And because of His honor, as a guest of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, do not put any fuel inside of your carbon-based body. This is the reason why you're fasting. And how are we? We don't even know how to read it. Yet you are fasting in its honor. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the ability to get close to Him, for us to be able to understand what our responsibilities are. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless us and make us from the friends and followers of the Imam. May He come as soon as possible. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Wal asr. Inna al-insana lafi khusr. Illa alladhina amanu wa amilu salihat. Wa tawasaw bil haqqi wa tawasaw bis sabr. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.